Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. We're having a good time here on a Thursday edition, the 5th of February, 2026. You got Colin Russo, you got Mike Rizzo. We got Cade Chubbsland, hockey sub behind the glass. No Christian Cat today. He is on sabbatical. But we got you up until 6 p.m. Got another packed program today. We're going to get into our top 10 Super Bowl winners coming up next. We're going to have a lot of fun. A little 5-5. Cade's joining us for the entirety of the program. We're not going to have our pal Christian Cat. We got Mike Rizzo, as always, who was actually on Theoretically Speaking just before this. We're going to hear from Will Shields, the offensive lineman, the Hall of Famer for the Kansas City Chiefs, had the second longest consecutive starts mark behind Brett Favre in NFL history, three-time first team All-Pro, and a Hall of Famer himself. He'll join us in about 40 or so minutes. Looking forward to that. And we have the Super Bowl in T-minus about 3.5 days. So we got a lot to look forward to in that regard. Darnold, May, Seahawks, two young coaches who have not won one before, and a lot of expectations on either side. We'll get into a little trivia into the second hour as well. I got another question today.
Perfect. Couldn't sleep thinking about the next one, Kyle, to be completely honest with you. I'm in a goofy mood, by the way.
You're in a goofy mood?
Yeah, I'm in a goofy mood today. Every time I produce on Theoretically Speaking, it's always a doozy. It always turns into, some kind of crazy question on why I'm doing this, why I'm doing that. I'm in a very goofy mood today.
What'd they grill you for?
What was it today? I don't know. Theo kept calling me a character, which I am, to be fair. And then I defended Josh Allen. I defend Josh Allen, defend Josh Allen, defend Josh Allen. It was a whole lot of that. So I'm a character and defending Josh Allen. And to be completely honest, Colin, I'm happy that we're doing our top 10 list with our good friends over at Good Greek with the top 10 best Super Bowl teams. I'm not there with this Super Bowl this year. I'm really not. I'm not there. The juice isn't there for me. The juice isn't there for me.
We're
with
3
the
days
teams.
away. How are you not into the game?
I'm not into the quarterbacks.
Oh, be quiet.
I'm not into the Patriots. Like Darnold's in the Super Bowl, and listen, I'm rooting for Darnold. I can't root for the Patriots.
You don't like Darnold.
It's not that I don't like Darnold.
It didn't take long for you to switch up on that.
I cannot believe.
You're not a Darnold guy.
I just cannot believe he's in a Super Bowl.
You dislike Darnold. What did Darnold do to you?
It's not that I don't dislike Darnold. Don't put words into my mouth. It just doesn't do it. It's like Trent Dilfer winning a Super Bowl.
No, it's not. It's an excellent story.
It's like Trent Dilfer winning a Super Bowl.
It's the ultimate Super Bowl turnaround. Think about it for a second. This is a guy who was drafted third overall as a highly touted prospect out of USC and has blown up in basically 3 different places before he found a home. The Jets was a disaster. Monday Night Football, seeing ghosts. He went and sat with Baker Mayfield and the Carolina Panthers.
So you're in on this. You're in on this circus
I love this
San
story.
Francisco.
I want nothing more than for Sam Darnold to put this Patriot curse to rest.
You're not, and then I'm down on you're not down on the Patriots at all?
That's why there's my villain. There's my villain. That's why I want the Seahawks to win. They're number 1 in the league in point differential. It's going to be hopefully not a throttling. I'd like to see a competitive game. I think it will be a competitive game, but I want to see this put to rest.
You're telling me I got to do the whole Patriots in the Super Bowl thing again? I thought we were done. I thought Brady retired and Belichick's out the door.
It's got nothing to do. None of the usual suspects are there. It is a completely different team.
Listen, I hate rooting against Vrabel, for the record, all right? But, God, any other team, Mike. And, Mikey, any other team, it's got to be the Patriots where you go to Super Bowl in your first year.
So here's the problem. Going into that AFC title game, you were down on the Broncos like nobody I've ever seen with Jarrett Stidham and company. You didn't want them in the Super Bowl. All right, fine. You didn't want the Texans in the Super Bowl because, CJ.
I wanted Stafford. To be honest, to answer what you're
Rams, Bills, and you didn't get that because of the second week of the playoffs, and you've been pouting ever since. Am I getting this wrong?
No, you're not. Listen, you're not wrong there. I wanted Rams and Bills and Josh Allen to win on a game-winning drive. That's exactly what I wanted.
And you're not getting
That's exactly what I wanted.
And now you've been pouting about the other guys who are in there ever since.
I just cannot believe Darnold. Do nothing. Darnold is in the Super. He had, 2 14-game winning seasons? What alternative universe did I wake up in where Sam Darnold has won 28 regular season games and is in a Super Bowl?
He had 300 plus, 350 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He's playing out of his – and listen, if
he ain't too much in the Niner game, but he's played great.
Kyle, can I tell you something? If he shows up in this Super Bowl and throws 3 interceptions and is the reason they lose the ball game, I'm going to be very upset. If he hand delivers the Patriots their 7th Super Bowl, I'm going to be very upset. I am.
I can listen to that.
I'm very upset if that happens.
As a heavy favorite in the game, you have advantages all over the field, offensively, defensively. The special teams is far superior. I know the Patriots special team is good, but Seahawks got the best special teams in the league. And you got all of that going for you. You're the betting favorite. You're the more experienced bunch, and you're going to go out there and hand deliver. I would agree. I would be pissed off too. And maybe they only can play well against a certain caliber of opponent, and maybe the teams they see 3 times is a lot different than the team they see once. But I think that for the Seahawks in this game, that's your big story. That's what you're rooting for. You're rooting for the Seahawks, who have been a very underratedly well-run franchise. They've never tanked. They're always in the mix. They're always pretty good. They've never been afraid to reload and change things up. You know, they had a pretty decent thing going with Geno Smith, and they weren't afraid to change that up. I know they offered him he didn't know if he wanted to stay, he wanted more money. They were willing to change that. They're willing to change that. They're willing to get rid of DK Metcalf, which was sort of a big piece of that offense to kind of give the keys to Jackson Smith-Njigba. And they were able to do that, and they were able to bring in Darnold.
Am I being unfair on still not being bought into this Patriot team at this moment in time?
I don't think you're completely you're not unfair.
Am I unfair? Because
you're not unfair to that at all.
I go back to the regular season. They beat the Buffalo Bills. It's the reason why and listen, specifically Patriot fans, and my Uncle Patrick is, Bostonian, okay? He's been on my case about this all week. They won 3 playoff games, and somehow, some way, I'm sitting here 3-4 days before the Super Bowl going, I don't even know if this team's any good. How is that possible?
Any good is incorrect. Any good is not right.
You played against Cheater Pumpkin Eater and the biggest phony in the playoffs ever, Justin Herbert.
They got 17 wins. You're being a little unfair.
You play against, and it kills me to say this, all right? You play against C.J. Stroud, who is inept as it could get. The game was over in the first half. And the fact that it wasn't a 40-13 game is a disgrace on the Patriots. That this was even a game in the fourth quarter, okay, after the kid threw 4 interceptions in the first half. And then, to your credit, I complain about Jared Stidham in the Kingdom Come, fine. And then you run into Jared Stidham. And you run into a phony like Peyton who's passing up on a 10-0 lead with 15 minutes to go in the second quarter. I can't. Kyle, what?
So what? We're not into the game now?
I told you. I've been on this all week.
I've been on it all week. You're such a popcorn watch. Mike, understand that we have a villain in this game and we have a hero in this game.
The hero is Darnold?
That is what you're looking for. Last year, it was 2 villains. Last year, we hated both teams. We want to see the Chiefs win. We want to see the Eagles win.
No, hang on. We were rooting for. Root is his word. We were pulling for the Eagles.
Pulling is a word. I was not doing that. I was thinking, I don't like either of these teams. You don't want to see the Philly team win. You don't want to see the Chiefs team win. Now you got a hero and a villain.
Is Darnold going to show up to that spotlight in the sky?
I think it'll be a competitive game. I don't think there will be a ton of offense in the game, frankly. I really don't. But I do think that walking away from the game, you will likely have Sam Darnold hosting a Super Bowl MVP trophy and the Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl champions. And it'll be one of the great turnarounds and one of the great bargain contracts the team has made in recent memory.
You're on Monday. If that does happen, you're going to have to pinch me because I still think I'm fever dreaming. Sam Darnold, Kyle, Super Bowl MVP and leading a team to a Super Bowl before any of those quarterbacks that he got drafted with, by the way, the Lamar Jacksons, I believe.
It's good because it tells you one thing. It tells you that just having a quarterback doesn't solve all your problems. You need everything that works. And the Seahawks have been as well-constructed of a bunch as you could find. Cheap-ish veteran quarterback. Young coach. They weren't afraid to go the defensive route instead of the offensive route. They went against the grain every way. They prioritized special teams. They've gotten rid of their best players. They let their quarterback walk out the door. Last year, Geno Smith, who had a resurgence with them. They got a great home field, and they played in probably the toughest division we've seen in years, and they shredded it.
Is there Big East hoops on Sunday night?
There's Big East hoops on Friday night.
Okay, not Sunday night?
St. John's, UConn, Fox, 8 p.m. at the Garden on Friday night.
That's a hell of a game.
Hell of a game. $500 to get in. So there's your Big East game.
Those are the 2 teams in that conference this year, by the way? Is that right?
Yeah,
okay. Anyway, I was just asking, I might need something else to watch on Sunday. I might need something else to watch on Sunday.
There's no other game to be watching.
maybe I'll go back to that fall ball. I'll go back to, McGonagall for the Tigers, the fall ball that I was studying over the weekend.
And so what if it's a competitive game? Just because you dislike the quarterbacks, that therefore you don't like the game? What if it's a competitive game?
I'm watching, but I'm going to be kicking and screaming doing it. I'm going to be kicking and screaming watching the game.
If you get 22-17, a competitive ball game with a couple big plays here and there, you're going to be complaining?
It makes me, and even like put your fandom in it first. It makes you very frustrated as a fan too. Like, how are the Patriots figuring it out before our team? Like, you could
say the same thing about the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, how are these teams able to figure it out before the respected team that's? I mean, even Dolphin fans down here. I mean, geez, you finally think the Patriots are done, dead, gone. They're in a Super Bowl 3 years post Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. I mean, I just it's the quarterback count, it's the quarterback matchup, it's the team and the Patriots, and it's just sitting here going, this is really what we have in the Super Bowl this year. And if you think I'm being unfair,
I think you are being unfair.
I would agree. But I don't think I'm being unfair saying that the Patriots really just, I mean, talk about
I agree, and nothing would illegitimize their season more than getting throttled in the Super Bowl. So there's your benefit.
I hate.
Delegitimize their season. Is that the right word? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, even your Jags, like, do they beat the Jags in Jacksonville? I know that they won their division. They deserved the 2 seed. They had a last place schedule. The only playoff team they beat in the regular season were the Bills, and I'm talking about the Patriots, by the way. They had home field, and they took advantage of it. Fine. They took advantage of a backup quarterback. I don't know. It doesn't have the luster. It doesn't have the luster of Super Bowls past, and maybe I'm dead wrong on that.
I know
I'm circling around a bit, but maybe I'm dead wrong.
The first time in a while we haven't had dynasties face off in the Super Bowl, and for that reason I like it. Brady was his own dynasty. Stafford and Joe Burrow was the last time we saw sort of two first-timers come head-to-head in this spot. It was a good game. Yeah. It was a very good game. And since then, it's been the Niners, who are always there. I know trying to break through, but always there. It's been the Eagles, always there. It's been the Chiefs, always there. This is a great change of pace. Outside of the Patriots, who you're sick of, I completely agree with. But it's a good change of pace, even though we've seen the game 10 years ago, 11, 12 years ago, whatever it was. And remember that game was one of the great games we've seen, too.
It was the interception at the goal line. It was Russell Wilson versus Tom Brady.
Excellent.
It was Pete Carroll versus Bill Belichick. That had juice. That had Kyle. That had them. That had the stuff. That had the special stuff that they were, had the Looney Tunes drinking in Space Jam.
You're going to view Sam Darnold differently. I really do hope that he's going to have a big game because he deserves a lot more respect than you're giving to him. And listen, he's the first quarterback in NFL history to play for two different teams in 2 years and win 14 games.
This is Thursday, by the way. But if I come in here on Monday and Sam Darnold hand-delivered the Patriots on a platter, I'm going to, Kyle, we're going to be, let's just say we're going to be upset.
I agree. I'll be frustrated too.
I'm going to tell you, it's so Darnold. It's so Patriot. They're Super Bowl champs, and I don't even think they're any good. It's going to be the whole thing.
Yeah. The weird part about the Patriots too is I don't dislike any piece of the team. I don't dislike May. I don't dislike Vrabel. I don't dislike Mac Hollins. I don't dislike any of that. I really don't. I think they've done it the right way. They've drafted well. They signed the right free agents. They were not afraid to get rid of. Promote internally the new general manager with Elliott Wolf. They did the right things. But you hate the fan that they're seeing so much success. That's what drives you crazy.
What's the game in the playoffs that blew the socks off you? Their performance that just completely blew.
They don't have one moment. They don't have any moments. They don't have any. Outside of that 16-play drive to go up 3 against the Broncos, first drive of the second half, or that drive when they were up 21-16 against the Texans, and they went right down the field and scored a touchdown on that Kayshon Boutte deep ball over Derek Stingley. Outside of those two, there's really not that many moments.
Even that second one, the Boutte touchdown, at that moment, I'm wondering, my God, it's about time. The CJ threw 4 picks in the first half.
Yep. Mike Rizzo, Colin, Russo, Kid. Chumsman will do our top 10 Super Bowl champions since 2000 with Good Greek Moving and Storage on the other side of things. Stay tuned. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
The 4 p.m. hour on ESPN 106.3 is served by the Delray Beach Open. 140 miles per hour aces, parties, and all the good vibes. Get your tickets today at DelrayBeachOpen.com.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and Super Bowl Sunday is here. A special 2-hour Sunday huddle with Colin Russo launches the day at 10 a.m. Pre-game coverage starts at noon. Then Super Bowl 60 kicks off at 6:30. No switching apps. That's how we do Super Bowl Sunday on ESPN 106.3.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the Florida Atlantic MBA in Sport Management Program. MLB free agency is in full swing. We are a couple of weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting for spring training, but free agency certainly has been a topic of conversation in Major League Baseball, specifically with the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are the back-to-back World Series champion. They arguably got the top man on the free agency market in Kyle Tucker. They agreed on a 4-year, $240 million contract. A lot of it is deferred money, which brings up the conversation. Is there going to be a lockout? Is there going to be a salary cap? The rich get richer with the Dodgers. This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the Florida Atlantic MBA in Sport Management Program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The Florida Atlantic MBA in Sport Management Program.
Many people start trimming trees when they hear a storm is on the way, but that leaves piles of branches on the ground that could become dangerous projectiles during a storm. Instead, having a year-round trimming plan is better for you, your neighbors, and the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. When trimming is done correctly and on schedule, your trees are stronger and more resistant to wind damage. After the storm passes, there's less vegetative debris, helping the SWA clean up your community faster. Learn more at swa.org/storm.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful Defender 110 P300S for just $849 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long-distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Well, if you're driving down the highway, you're getting a little bit of a fender bender, don't know who to call, you got to call Anajar and Levine. Because if you've been in a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys are the type that like to fight for you. Anajar and Levine helped me out so much that actually Glenn Levine lended me his bike bag when I was doing my triathlons and I had to travel with my bike. It's type of covering your 6, get your back moment that you could expect with Anajar and Levine because they don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Don't settle for just anybody. Go get the best. Go get Anajar and Levine. Take that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call for the free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control of Anajar and Levine. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo. We got Cade Chumsman, hockey sub behind the glass today. In the spirit of Super Bowls, in the spirit of this time of the year, I think it's time for us to figure out of the last 25 Super Bowl champions, who are the 10 best. Let's do our top 10 Super Bowl champions since 2000, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage.
Who's moving up?
You know that they're not distracted.
Who's moving down?
I cannot take this serious. That's my personal opinion.
It's time for the Russo and Rizzo Power Rankings.
Yeah.
Presented by
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Folks, you see those trucks around town. You see the Good Greek trucks. They are the movers that you trust. If you're moving soon, I don't want you to stress it because you're going to call Spiro and Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage, local and long distance, Spiro and the team at Good Greek Moving and Storage have you covered from the very start to the very finish. Good Greek is now the official movers of the UFC. So keep that in mind. UFC, new movers, Good Greek Moving and Storage. There's been a bunch of great cards as of late. Our teammate Andrew Cosby was showing me the most recent fights for the UFC. Well, Good Greek, the new movers of UFC. I know a lot of Heat fans are disappointed as well for not getting Giannis Antetokounmpo, but the Heat are still a world-class organization, Heat fans, and the official movers of the Miami Heat are Good Greek Moving and Storage. For over 2 decades, they have made moves safe, simple, and stress-free. The world's only total relocation solution. You got to hit up Good Greek Moving and Storage. All right, Colin mentioned it. We're going to find the 10 best Super Bowl winning teams since 2000. Now, Colin, something we want to get out of the way. Do we want to start away from the bottom, or do we want to start our way at the top?
I think you're going to have to go to top here and go down,
Yep,
right?
I would agree. I think it's top to bottom, and I think there are a lot of Patriot teams on here, obviously. I think that Eagle team is going to be checking in
They're going to be
somewhere
high.
as
They're
well.
going to be high in this. They're going to be high in this
The
list.
Eagles won 40-22 last year, had one of the most dominant defenses we've seen in a very long time. But I think for
Number 1.
I think we got to get a Patriot team in here. I think we got to get a Patriot team in here. If it be the Pats team that beat the Panthers in 2003, if it was the Pats team that beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 39 the year after in 2005, I would lean one of those two teams. I would lean one of those two Patriot teams there.
Now, one of those great teams, in my opinion, with the team that only lost 2 games all year, was the team that came back against the Falcons. That was probably the best encapsulated season of any, just the way it ended. I think Brady won the MVP that year. They only lost 2 games. They were excellent in point differential. I would be okay with it. I think the best of the opening 3. I believe the last one was the best one. The one they beat the Eagles. So when they beat down on Reed, that was a better offensive team. So I think 3 Brady teams for sure need to be on here. I think that Falcon team that he came back 28-3. I actually think that Buck team needs to be on here. And of 2020, that was a great team.
Okay.
And then I also think the 04 Patriot team. Do you think? I don't think the year they beat the Rams should be on here.
No, that's 2002. It won on a Vinatieri game winner.
And I don't think the year they beat the Seahawks should be on here.
No. That was, for all intents and purposes, lost.
Yeah, fortunate game.
So, I'm all right. Listen, I need a Patriot team. As much as I can't stand them, they got to be number 1.
I think that best win and the best season is that Falcon year.
Let's do it.
And that would be the 2016 Patriots. They went 14-2 in the regular season. They only gave up 250 points, which is the lowest amount of points that they have given up basically since 2006. I think it is the best overall team. It is the best finish to the season. Even though they were down 28-3, that's a moment.
Yeah, it's a moment, and I think outside of the David Tyree catch, that's the Super Bowl that comes to mind.
That's the Super Bowl that also enshrined Brady as the greatest football player to ever live.
Correct. So let's put the Patriots at number 1 in 2016. Let's move on to number 2.
Number 2.
Could talk me into another one of those Patriot teams. Could talk me into that Seattle team, the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, that was a great team.
I mean defensively,
Russell Wilson
offensively.
did not even need to do much.
No.
And they killed everybody.
Marshawn Lynch was incredible. I'm fine with going either way. I mean, it was Colin, a statement win too, 43-8 back in 2014. I remember we were sitting in our dorm rooms in college going, my God, this game is over. This game is already over. And that was the year where Peyton Manning threw for like 7 touchdowns in a game.
And they went against the best offense that really the best offense of the century in the NFL. And they tore them apart.
I think we put that Seattle team here at 2. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, they had 3 losses, in the regular season, one of which was on the road against San Francisco. They lost to the Cardinals. They had a great team. That was the best defense. Unbelievable. I have no problem with that.
Okay.
So that was the Seattle Seahawks of 2013.
Let's move on to number 3.
Number 3.
Once again, these are our top 10 best Super Bowl winning NFL teams since 2000, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, the official movers of UFC. All right, 3, we could go with one of those Pats teams in 05, 04.
I think that last team is definitely in the mix here. Where do we put the Eagles from last year?
I think they're at least top 5. I'd put them top 5. I'd listen even Colin, I would listen to it here at 3. I would. 40-22 against a stout, I think, one of the better defenses you'll see in a Super Bowl with Kansas City last year. I know Mahomes, they couldn't do anything. Offensively, they couldn't do anything. I think a lot of it has to do with that Philly defense. You could talk me into it here. I think you could either do the Eagles or that 05 Patriot team that beat the Eagles. I think that's I would go either way here. I'd be okay with either way.
Patriots is probably the strongest of the bunch here. That was the encapsulation of 3 and 4 years.
Yep.
I know it's a close game, but it's an all-time great team.
Right. And once again,
that closed out that first dynasty.
Not to confuse people. The Super Bowl was played in February of 05, but obviously it was the 2004 season. So I am okay with putting the Pats of 04 right here at this spot. Let's move on to 4.
Number 4.
I think this is where the Eagles probably check
2024, 2025
probably.
Eagles.
Either that or, Colin, I know I'm being boring, but 05 Patriots could be talked into it as well. The year they beat Andy Reid.
Oh, so I actually, hold on. So I'm rooting for the 05, the team they beat Andy Reid.
You wanted them at 3.
That is number 3.
Okay.
They played that season in 2005, or was that the Super Bowl in 2005?
So that was.
You have that in front of you?
Yeah, I do. They in February 6, 2005.
The last Super Bowl they won, the third of the 3.
February 6, 2005, they defeated the Eagles.
So the 2004-2005 season, that's the one I'd like at number 3.
All right, so yeah, and I did have that. I apologize for confusing the hell out of everybody. Okay, but
so number 1, we have the 2016 Patriots over the Falcons. That was the year that Brady got suspended for Deflategate, too. They started 3-1, too.
Yep.
2013 Seahawks, number 2. The 04-05 Patriots at number 3. And then the last year's Eagle team at number 4. They went 14-3. They dominated the competition. They had a dominant Super Bowl. They kind of shut the door on the Chiefs, who won 15 games. I think that's no problem. A worthy selection in my book.
Yeah. Number 5. Once again, our top 10 power rankings presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage.
Couple directions you could go here.
Listen, again, I'll bring up the team that the Pats beat in the year they beat the Eagles against Andy Reid. Keep them in the back of your mind.
What about any of the Mahomes teams?
The first one.
Yeah, I get that. The first one was that was the strongest offense.
Yeah, the strongest offense. Mahomes, I think, really took the mantle from Brady at that point.
And they dominated the whole postseason.
Yeah.
I remember they took down
absolutely not. I got a butt in here, guys. How about 24-0 down to the Texans in that first divisional game?
That's right. That's when Deshaun Watson had 24-0 and they came back in that game, and then they went and took on the Titans in that third game.
You can't say he dominated all
Well,
the
okay, that's more
Mahomes
against you. That's 24-0.
Yeah.
That's against you. We put the Patriots at number 1. They were down 28-3 in the Super Bowl.
The whole point of the postseason was that they were down double digits in each game. It's on the freaking ring.
Right, 20-10.
So they didn't dominate the whole postseason.
Well, that's why it's great. They won by double digits in each game, Kate.
I think
it's the number 1 offense in the league.
And to defend Colin a bit, I think he was alluding to Mahomes dominating. I look at that Chief ring and go, Patrick won that. You know what I mean? Like the most recent, and Theo and I got into it during Theoretically Speaking, Mahomes wasn't the reason they were winning Super Bowls the final 2. All right, Patrick was the reason they were winning those games first time around.
He's a great big game player. He was great in the Eagle game. He was great he was pretty good.
Fine, but the defense were the stories of those teams. Mahomes and his Madden numbers that he was putting up, I would be completely okay with putting that Chief team here.
I'd be okay with putting that first or second, not the third.
I'm ringing the bell. I keep ringing the bell for that Patriot team. We'll get to them in a second that beat the Eagles. If I had to choose one, Cade, which year was it where they came back? That's the one I want here.
The team that beat the Eagles is on the list. The Patriot team that beat the Eagles is the third of which. That is the 04-05 team.
Then I'm, the Panther year.
Oh, the year before.
The Panther year.
Got it.
The Panther
that team
year.
also won 14.
Dude, they've won so much, Colin. Everything is running in. But what was the year with Mahomes where they came back? That's the one that's checking
2019. That was their first title. That was their best offense.
I would put them here. I would either put them here.
I believe that was 14-0 against Tennessee, 24-0 against the Texans, and then it was 20-10 against the Niners in that Super Bowl.
I'd put that team here, or I'd even listen to the Brady Buccaneer team with that unreal defense.
That team's going to be on there soon. I'd be okay with the 2019. I would be with the Chiefs first.
Okay,
you got to put a Chiefs team in the top 5.
Yeah.
That's not fair. You can't put 3 Brady teams and no Chief teams. That's not fair.
Number 6.
could go different directions. I bring up that Buccaneer team with the great defense.
That was a great
and
team.
Brady.
That was a great team.
Brady played unbelievable.
It was a one-off, but it was a great team. I guess not really a one-off. They had a chance in the second.
And Colin, just when you thought Brady, they're done, dusted, we're never going to see Tom again, they go and win Super Bowl 55 in 2021. You could do them,
and they destroyed the competition.
I go back.
And you know what? You know why that's great? Because they won 3 road games in that postseason, and they beat 3. I mean, the first game I believe was against the Redskins at Taylor Heineke, or the commander, the football team at that point.
Yep.
And I think the next game was against the Packers on the road, and he beat Rodgers head to head. And then the next game was against the Saints. It might have been flipped. It might have been
Other way around.
So
Saints was divisional round.
Saints
Packers
was divisional, and they beat the Pack all on the road. And then they had their home game against the Mahomes. That is as good of a stretch as you'll find. This team, we could maybe move it higher, but I think the right here is a firm spot for that Buccaneer team.
They check in here. You got 2 Tom Patriot teams in the top 3. That Seattle team, the Legion of Boom at 2. The Eagle team from last year, top to bottom, and then you got a Chief team.
And 3 road games. That's impressive.
No problem with putting Tampa Bay at number 6.
That was a great
Number
team.
7.
It was a great team.
Underrated, definitely. Colin, you want to listen to a 2015 Denver Bronco team? Elite defense with Von Miller. It was Peyton Manning's riding into the sunset moment. Brock Osweiler came in.
Yeah, the thing
they
about
overcame a lot of stuff.
Manning was taped together at that season.
But I think it speaks to how good the defense was, and maybe some of the players around, that they could figure it out with an inept Peyton Manning and a Brock Osweiler. Just keep them in mind. We don't have to put them here. I still will remind you about the 03 New England Patriots, 04 Super Bowl year where they beat the Panthers. That was still an all-time team. That was when they beat Jake Delhomme. And if you remember, I believe that was the Janet Jackson year, too. Young Mike Rizzo was very confused watching the halftime show. You got the Pittsburgh. Now,
I think the 04 Buccaneers need to be somewhere near here, too. Remember, they dominated that whole postseason.
Yeah, Brad Johnson at quarterback now.
Great, best defense in the league. That's a great team.
Agreed. But I feel like that's why maybe the Broncos.
What was their record in the regular season?
They were the Gruden. They were fantastic.
They were 12-4 in the regular season.
And then keep in mind the 05 Steelers, too, maybe towards the back end when they defeated Hasselbeck and the Steelers. Right. Willie the Fast Parker and that ceiling
Seahawks.
run.
Yeah.
I listen. I could listen to one of the defensive teams here with Denver that I mentioned in 15, Colin, or the Buccaneers. I could do either one here.
Let me go to that Bronco team really quick and kind of.
Well, remember it was.
I remember the game.
Mayhem.
I remember the team. It was Super Bowl 50.
And Osweiler played a lot of that season because Manning was bad. Manning came back in the playoffs and was, as you said, able to use glue and masking tape to put together an offense.
Yeah. I can listen to this. I can. And they beat the Patriots head-to-head in that AFC Championship game, and I believe they played earlier in the year, and Brock Osweiler checked in, and that's when he was their guy.
Right,
in
and he got hurt
in December. And then they had to go back to Manning because there was injuries all galore that year. They beat the Steelers 23-16 in that divisional round. 24-10 against a great Panther team that had the MVP at quarterback.
Yep.
You listen to this team. I would lean maybe the Buccaneers, but that they're going to be one of the next one.
I think regardless, we have our 7 and 8 figured out.
I could listen to the Broncos here. I think it's a little taped together. Manning wasn't great on that team.
How about this? We'll do
number 7.
We'll do the 04. What year is it?
02, 03.
02, 03. Okay. We'll do the Brad Johnson and that elite defense Tampa Bay team at 7. And then number 8, we'll do the Broncos of 2015. Is that fair?
I like that. I have no problem with that. I wouldn't touch the Ram team. I know the Rams had, Stafford, big moment. I don't think I'd go to that for that team. The Nick Foles team?
No. I have
no interest. That was a great game. That was an awesome game.
I have no interest.
The Patriot team that had 500 yards of offense.
No interest in putting that team on here. The Philly fan got their shtick at number 4. They don't belong on the list again. I'm sorry. The Patriots lost that game, in my opinion. I could be talked into a couple more. The two that I get, and now we're really. You want to know what team I think that needs to be on here is that Giant team that beat the best team I've ever seen in my life. And just for that,
07 Giants is a good one, and they also won 3 road games to get to that spot.
Colin, The sole reason they belong on the list, that was Bill's best team ever. And for somehow, some way, they score. I believe the Patriots in the game, it was, what was it, 17-14 final score? I mean, that was the best offense Bill ever had with Randy Moss and company. And they put up 14 points in the game. And that Giant defense, that big blue defense, man, got home numerous times.
And it was the last year of Favre, too. They beat them in the conference championship game. A 13-3 Packer team kind of shut the door on that.
You got to put, I think that's, I'm completely fine with putting that team on number 9.
And on top of that, too, they beat the Cowboys. One of the best Romo years of his career. I know he had a lot of interceptions, but they went 13-3 as well. That was when they had T.O. They had guys there. Jason Witten was on that team. Yeah. There's the talent there. So they beat that team on the road. They beat the Buccaneers on the road that first round. Just off of moment, you got to give them a little credit. They had the most impressive run, probably of anybody.
Yep.
I can listen to that, no problem.
I think that they belong at 9. Let's move on to 10.
2007, 2008 Giants.
Yep, 07 Giants, 08 Super Bowl.
Yeah, 07 is the season is what we'll kind of go
the
on.
season is the team we're putting on here. That has always pissed me off to Kingdom Come. It always gets me so confused. So for this last one, Colin, we said since 2000. So I believe that'll eliminate Greatest Show on Turf, St. Louis, because that's technically 99. But it was in 2000. I could listen to that if we want to, put an asterisk on it, even though they played games in 99.
Another thing I'd throw in there, a dominant defense, was that Raven defense in 2000, 2001.
Well, yeah, the Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, the diaper
I'm
dandies.
looking at it right now. Their 4 games that year, 21-3, 24-10, 16-3, 34-7. They allowed double digits once in 4 games.
Jeez.
I know it's Trent Dilfer. But
Dilfer?
You could have started for that team.
Wait, Colin. Trent Dilfer? Yeah. What about the Packers? They won road games. They won road games, and they beat Tomlin's
I like that. I value winning road games.
They beat one of Tomlin's best teams, too. That team was great. That Steeler team was nutty.
I can listen to that. And there's something about that. I remember, he played Atlanta in that divisional round? That was the best game of Rodgers' career. Well, they won 48-21 in that game.
Kyle, if you remember, what was it? Conference championship game against the Chicago Bears. Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall.
That was a Caleb Haney game.
Cutler gets injured early
he was
on.
Doing the exercise bike on the sideline, and B.J. Raji defensive touchdown. Yeah, that was a big game, too. Think about Rodgers in that previous game against Atlanta. This was in Atlanta, and Rodgers goes 31-36, 366 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. That's an excellent game with a rushing touchdown.
I'll listen. The Ravens of 01-02 I'll listen to, and the Green Bay Packers, I believe, 09-2010.
The Packers lost 6 games that year. They lost 6 games in the regular season.
They were the last team. Colin, they were the last team in. They were the last team in.
They lost 6 games in that regular season, while the Raven team went 12-4.
Kate Chumsland, be our deciding factor, Ravens or Packers?
I'd have put the Ravens way higher than this. Go Ravens.
Okay. That does it.
It's a dominant run. I have no problem with that.
All right, so Baltimore and that was technically 2000. So, Colin, once again, top 10. This is one of our top 10 lists we do with our good friends at Good Greek Moving and Storage. We are putting our top 10 Super Bowl winners since 2000. Number 1, and please correct me if I'm wrong as I'm putting these. Number 1, we went with that Patriot team that beat Atlanta. Now, Colin, I believe that is the 2000 and this is
16.
the only. Thank you. This is a 2016 Patriot team. We have them at number 1. At number 2, the 2013 Seattle Seahawks. Number 3, the 2004 New England Patriots.
Yep, the third of which.
Number 4, the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles. Number 5, the 2019 Kansas City Chiefs. Number 6, the 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 7, the 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Buccaneers back-to-back 6 and 7. Number 8, the 2015 Denver Broncos. Number 9, 07 Giants. And number 10, the 2000 Ravens. Once again, that is our top 10 presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Go to GreekMoving.com for more information. GreekMoving.com for more information. The new official movers of the UFC.
Maybe a little biased to the last 15, 20 years, but that's how this is going to go.
Definitely.
Yeah, I didn't watch the 2000 Raven team live, but all I could see is what you see in the highlight reels in the X Games and when they replay it and everything like that. So There's not a lot I could vouch for there with what I saw with my eyes.
I really, outside of that Green Bay team, I don't think we missed any. My personal opinion. I don't think we missed any.
One I'm down on, the 2015 Bronco team is the one I could maybe be talking
Elite defense.
Yeah, great defense.
I mean, Von Miller.
That was Chris Harris Jr., Keeb Talib. They had guys.
If that Ravens team is on there, that Bronco team belongs on there too. And listen,
Ravens team won easier, but yes.
But the Tampa Bay, we have 3 teams on here solely for defense. 02 Tampa, 15 Broncos, 2000 Ravens. You could even say
Johnson was a pretty good player, but yes.
I love Eli
Manning.
I love Eli Manning. You could say the same damn thing for that 07 Giant team. That defense won that championship, and I like Eli a lot.
No doubt. No, Manning was great in a big game, especially in that last fourth quarter.
Dude, he was
fourth quarter against the Patriots. There were moments for him.
If I could, quote, correct you, he was unreal against the Patriots.
He's a great big game player.
Unreal again. I mean, he was the only. Tom jokes around. He's like, outside of Nick Foles, it's Nick Foles and Eli Manning and a whole lot of none to beat Tom Brady in a Super Bowl.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Cade Chumson. We got a little trivia we'll do on the other side of things. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's has voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Jeff Bowden, Executive Principal and leader of Anshin's Tax Department.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act creates powerful new planning opportunities for high net worth individuals and business owners. The new tax legislation permanently increases the estate and gift tax exemption to $15 million per person, restores full expensing for domestic R&D costs, updates the Opportunity Zone and qualified small business stock provisions, and includes other changes that will impact businesses and individuals. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help clients understand the intricacies of the bill and develop a plan tailored to meet their goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner looking to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
It's almost time for spring training baseball in West Palm Beach. Cacti Park at the Palm Beaches is ready for another incredible year with the Astros and Nationals. Watch top matchups all spring long. That's Cardinals, Phillies, Mets, Yankees, Marlins, Orioles, and the Pirates. Plus special exhibition games against Team Venezuela. Games start February 21st and run through March 22nd. Tickets are on sale now at cactipark.com. Don't miss spring training in West Palm Beach. Secure your seats today.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
A lot of things to look forward to on the betting side of things, and you can go to the Hard Rock Bet and see more.
Absolutely, folks. And you got the big game coming up on Sunday. You're not going to want to miss the $7 million big game bonus party on Hard Rock Bet. Get your share of $7 million in bonus bets when you place a $10 big game parlay. Every single game, every game parlay. Listen, every single same game parlay of $10 or more counts, win or lose. So all you have to do is bet a same game parlay of $10 or more, win or lose, you will be involved. The more parlays you place, the bigger your share. So fire up the Hard Rock Bet app and pick up your big game parlay now. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. It is offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or a friend have a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. That is 1-833-PLAY-WISE. And if you're going to place a big game parlay for your share of bonus bets, you might as well do it with a 30% profit boost. Take your big game odds to the next level on the Hard Rock Bet site and or app.
Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Cade Shumsden behind the glass today at the City Play Studios. All right, so we're going to hear from Will Shields, the offensive lineman, Hall of Famer for the Kansas City Chiefs in the late 90s, early 2000s, a little later on in the program. But in the spirit of Super Bowl week, I have another question, a Super Bowl trivia question.
Oh, my favorite.
We did two the last 2 days. 2 days ago was which coach had won a Super Bowl with a team and had never coached another game for another franchise as a head coach. And the other one yesterday was of the quarterbacks to win Super Bowls. They were all numbered 1 through 19. Every number has been used except for 2 and finding out which 2 numbers they were. It was number 2 and number 6. And this week is a little different. Cade is going to be involved too. Cade, welcome in. How you doing today? What's going on?
I get to be on the other side of trivia. I'm so here for this.
So you guys are going to work together here. And if you need caller help, we'll enlist caller help. 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. You guys ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's rock.
All right, so in the spirit of this Super Bowl specifically, because you got Seahawks, you got Patriots, this is one of those games that has a rematch of a matchup we have seen before. There have been 10 rematches between teams in the history of the league in terms of franchises. It does not have to be the same team, similar to the New England Patriots and the Seahawks. There have been 10. Can you name all 10?
Are we including this one?
Yeah.
So we're knocking this one off. So we have to
knock this one off.
So there's 9, right? So we have Patriots, Seahawks. Okay.
Patriots, Seahawks. That will get you guys off and rolling.
Okay. Right. And then, Cade, let's go to the legendary ones. You got Pittsburgh and Dallas, right?
Pittsburgh and Dallas is correct.
Pittsburgh versus Dallas off the board. You have Philadelphia versus New England.
Philadelphia versus New England is correct.
Okay. So those are the ones I know, right off. And then, Cade, let's think of the great 49er teams. Was there a team in the AFC that the Niners would run into constantly?
Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals is correct. 1982 and 1987.
Okay,
88.
so Niners and Bengals off the board. Okay, so 49ers versus Bungles. All right, Cade, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 left. So we're almost halfway there.
You had 5 there. You guys have nailed already through 5. A couple more you got to hit.
Hang on, I thought we have 4.
That's what I have too.
I have 4.
Including the Patriots-Seahawks team.
No, we have Pats, Seahawks, Pitt, Dallas, Philly, Eagles, Niners, Bungles.
Yep.
All right, Cade.
So I got 6 left. I have 2 written down.
Well, okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
2 recent ones. I have KC, San Francisco, which has happened twice in the last 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I have
that is correct.
And I have New England and New York Giants, which we were talking about earlier.
That is also correct.
Yep. And by the way, Giants winning both of those fixtures.
Yep.
Matchups.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
soccer guy over here. Think who did Dallas run into in the 90s? Who did the Cowboy teams that were constantly there run into in the 90s?
Cowboys, Buffalo. Didn't Buffalo lose twice to Dallas in that 4 streak loses and 4
the
in a row
Bills
losses? Bills and Cowboys
did lose twice.
Okay.
To the Cowboys.
Okay, so
nice
Bills
call.
Versus Cowboys. Cade, we need 3 more. We're on fire.
All right, hold on. Give me 1 second.
I'm thinking because you think of the great teams. You think of the Cowboys. You think of Pittsburgh. You think of New England. I think we already got all of the Patriots. The Patriots never rematched again against the Panthers. The Patriots did rematch against the Eagles. We have that on here. They did rematch against the Giants. We have that on here.
Okay. I want to go way back. Did Green Bay and KC play in the first two? Or
No.
two of the first three?
No, the Raiders played in the second one.
Got it. Okay,
Good shout,
because
Kyle.
Green Bay
Good
won the
shout.
first two.
Green Bay won the first two. They beat the first one. They beat the Chiefs. Then they beat the Raiders.
And then KC won the third one.
Jets won the third one. KC won
that's
the
right.
fourth
Now-
one. They beat the Raiders.
There we go.
Let's
fourth one.
let's
Okay.
think Redskins. Doug Williams, Thorpe.
Yep.
Did they run into the Broncos? Because remember, John Elway beat the Browns
That's a good
years in a
one.
row. Did they play the same team in the AFC after the AFC Championship game? So that's one
That's
I'm
a good
stuck
shout.
on.
Minnesota has played in 4.
They've played in 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah. They've lost all 4 of them.
God, that's
But
almost even worse. That's Buffalo-esque.
Yeah.
Oy
all
vey.
at different times. Did they play anyone twice? Miami has played in a few, but I don't think they played the same team back to back.
Yeah.
Philly played the Raiders in 1. That hasn't happened again.
These two, Kate, I think are from, I'd almost said the Stone Age.
So
They're from
relist what you have so far.
so
These are
Colin-
Super Bowl rematches we've had in the history of the NFL. 888-760-3776.
So
Go
we
ahead.
have Patriots versus the Seahawks, the Steelers versus the Cowboys, the Eagles versus the Patriots. I had Philly versus the Eagles like an idiot. The Eagles versus the Patriots, Niners versus the Bungles, Chiefs versus the Niners, the Patriots versus the Giants, and the Bills versus the Cowboys. So we're
missing
looking
3.
We're looking for 3 more at 888-760-3776 if you want to chime in and help us out. Steve Young years, Niners, the Steve Young years.
You want to take a lifeline at the
Yeah,
phone lines
absolutely.
real quick?
888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. You get 3 remaining.
Let's go.
Right now.
Let's go to our first guy, Leo in Riviera Beach. Leo, you're on the air with us. What do you think this could be? Give us one that we're missing.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. It is the Dolphins versus the Redskins. The Dolphins won the first one to go undefeated, and then the Redskins won the second matchup with John Riggins, Run Riggins Run.
Dolphins did do it again, huh?
That is correct.
My
Wow,
man,
excellent
Leo.
job, Leo. Good call. Thank you for chiming in. He is right. That was the hardest one of the bunch. So he really did help you guys out there.
Bail this out.
Because the Redskins and the Dolphins did play twice, like he said. They played in 73, and they played all the way 10 years later in 83, where John Riggins won the Super Bowl MVP. That was at the Rose Bowl, that game. 888-760-3776. So you got 2 more Super Bowl rematches.
I got another caller who's guaranteed to give us another one.
All right, get him on. 888-760-3776. You're on the air. Who is it?
Damon, give it to me.
I got it, brother. I was 5 years old. It was a happy time, and then it was a sad time when I was older. Dolphins, Redskins.
Redskins was just
Damon, my
guessed. Damon,
My
appreciate
man.
the call. Do you have another one really quick in the back pocket?
That's it, bro.
No, you're
Appreciate the call.
Damon, love your brother. All
You got
good.
thank God you guys got the
Appreciate
Dolphin fans
it.
in
Yeah,
the backyard
oh,
because
God.
they have been a
Hang on,
huge
they
help.
bailed us out yesterday. Who did they bail us out yesterday? Regardless, I appreciate all our Dolphin fans. But
Bailed
folks,
you guys out with Jim McMahon yesterday.
yeah, they had the punky QB, Jim. Kyle, the punky QB,
Number
Jim
9.
McMahon.
Number 9.
All right. So, folks, 888-760-3776. Colin is going to kill me, but I am stumped. We have 8 out of the 10. Once again, Patriots and Seahawks, Pittsburgh, or actually, let me name it to you. Steelers and Cowboys, Eagles and Patriots, Niners and Bengals, Chiefs and Niners, Patriots and Giants, Bills and Cowboys, and then Damon and Leo giving us Dolphins and Redskins. Cade, do we have more help?
Oh, we're in trouble.
What do you mean we're in trouble?
We're in trouble.
For what?
You and I are about to be in a lot of trouble. Give it to me, my man. I believe this is Stevie. Steve-O, sorry, I forgot your name already.
Steve-O's chiming in for the 3rd day in a row. Steve-O, welcome in.
Palm
What's
Beach
your guess?
Gardens. This is bad, Rizzo.
Is it Eagles and Chiefs?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Oh, I'm sorry, Steve-O. I stole your thunder.
Steve-O, that's a rough one.
Man, you're good.
I stole your thunder.
The last 3 years, right?
And I just the way Cade put it, it clicked. You know what I mean? The way you put it, it immediately clicked. Steve-O, thanks again for checking in, partner. Always appreciate it.
Wow. Number 1, Jalen Hurts was actually number 2. And then we forgot that the Eagums and the Chiefs played twice.
Yeah.
In 3 years.
It's rough, dude. Colin, no ifs.
In 3 years.
Listen, buddy, all right? I'm begging for forgiveness.
3
here.
games, 2 of them were Eagles Chiefs.
Listen, the moment
3 games.
The moment Cade said, Riz, we're in trouble.
There have been 3 Super Bowls played most recently, and 2 of them were Eagles and Chiefs.
All right. Well, Cade, we need to redeem ourselves.
There have been 3 teams in the last 3 Super Bowls,
all
and
right.
2 of them have been.
All right. We get it.
Mike, I muted him. We're all good.
Okay.
One more.
Cade, I think it's big that we come up with this fight.
I think this should be gettable, too.
We need to come up with this.
Okay.
We need to come
This
up
one
with
should
this.
be gettable.
Super
Super Bowl rematches that we have seen in the
now
history
I'm trying
of
to
the
think
NFL.
like recently, right? So did the Steelers ever play the Packers back in the Steel City days? Because that happened in, I believe, 2010.
Mean Joe Green. I think the Packers were irrelevant by then. That was post Lombardi.
Okay.
I think that was post Lombardi.
That's when Bart Starr was coaching the team.
Yeah. Fair play to Bart Starr.
So I'm trying to think of dynasties. The Bills haven't done anything after the 2 that they played against.
Hang
the
on,
Cowboys.
Cade, hang on. Could it be Bills and Giants? Did the LT years in the 90s?
Did they play only 2 teams in the Super Bowls?
All I know is they went to 4. We were right on the Cowboys. I think this could be Bills and Giants. I think it could be Bills and Giants. Let's keep that in the back of our minds. 888-760-3776. Kate is on the phone taking a call. I'm almost ready to lock in Bills and Giants. Kate, who do we have on the line here?
Nobody right now. Call just dropped. I'd say go for it.
888-760-3776. Shoot a guess.
I mean, we're not getting negative points out here.
Hold on. You don't know that.
With Colin, hang on. Colin's a judgy little thing over there, okay?
Listen, we missed
Colin
Eagles and Chiefs. We're
I'm
already
listening
in the
to
negative.
the breakdown, so we're good. But, like,
Colin, we're already in the negative, my guy.
I'm telling you, this should be
I'll tell you
good.
what,
That's my only hint. You should get this.
The dog did a great job of teaching Colin history of sports because he is truly he's a judgy little thing when it comes to this because he knows it. I got to lock it in. Bills and Giants, Colin.
Bills and Giants is incorrect.
Yeah.
The Bills played the Redskins, the Mark Ripien Redskins, the second time of the 4 games. Then they played the Cowboys twice. So the Giants went back to the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl twice, but the first time they took down Elway. That was in 87. So
okay. And you're not willing to tell me if
what?
If Washington and Denver played more than 2 times?
Washington and Denver?
Yeah, in the Super Bowl.
Is that another guess?
That's another guess.
Washington and Denver is incorrect. Right. The Redskins have won 3 Super Bowls. I just told you. Hold on. One of them we knew was the Dolphins. The other one we knew was the Bills. They've won 3 Super Bowls.
All right. Take it easy. I'm stumped. Clearly stumped. 888-760-3776.
Name your 9 again. Of the 10 Super Bowl rematches we've had in the history of 60 games.
We've got our hero on the line.
All right,
Rizzo.
bring him in. Who
do we got, Kate?
We got Mike in Lake Worth, and I believe he's got the last one for us.
Mike in Lake Worth. What do we got?
Patriots and the Rams, St. Louis Rams.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
St. Louis and L.A. That just happened.
That is correct.
It's
That is
nice,
your 10th
Mike.
of 10. Appreciate Mike for the call. He is 100% right. They had first Super Bowl that Tom Brady ever won, where took down the Rams on a game-winning Adam Vinatieri field goal, and they took them down in that godforsaken game, Sean McVay's first go-around with Jared Goff.
Oh, that's why.
That's a rough one. Hold on. So the Patriots are on here 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and they've all been in the last.
That's what happens when you've been to 9 Super Bowls and friggin'
they really stat padded, so to speak.
That's what happens when
they've been to 9 Super Bowls. They've only played 5 teams. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating.
That was a good list, Kyle. Goodbye, you.
Yeah, not bad. And, you put it in the one interesting one I was looking at were all the Niner opponents because the Niners did have the Bengals, like we said, but they beat the Broncos. That's when they destroyed them, and Jerry Rice had 3 touchdowns in the game. And outside of that, they played the Dolphins. They played the Bengals twice. And that last time around, they played the San Diego Chargers with Steve Young. And Steve Young only won 1. So keep that in mind. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. We'll come up with another one
Are
tomorrow.
you disappointed? Yeah.
No, you know what?
Are you disappointed in me?
You know what I was pleased with is you got the Cowboys-Bills.
Yeah.
I was pleased with that one.
Yep.
I was pleased with the Bengals and the Niners. What made you think of the Bengals and the Niners?
Because isn't that so I could be also thinking Broncos as well. What's the 55-pointer that's the highest in Super Bowl history?
That was against the Broncos.
That is against the Broncos. For some reason, I just know.
You thought Bengals.
I know they play orange teams as well as just who they took down a ton. I also remember it because wasn't Chris Collinsworth on one or both of those teams?
Yeah, so the way I remember it, Collinsworth was definitely on the first one. I'm not sure about the second one, but that was the Ken Anderson and Boomer Esiason are the two Bengal quarterbacks who have both been to Super Bowls, and they played the Niners twice.
I don't know, it's just
Boomer Esiason.
For some reason, I knew they played
NFL
those
MVP
teams
Boomer
twice.
Esiason. So yeah, so to put a cap on it, you did get the Patriots and the Seahawks, which we're going to see on Sunday. Pittsburgh, Dallas, Philadelphia versus New England. You got Philadelphia versus Kansas City. You got San Francisco versus Cincinnati. You got or I guess I should say the Rams twice too, because you got to say St. Louis and L.A. But good calls. Dolphins, Redskins was another one. Bills, Cowboys, Chiefs, Niners, Giants, Patriots. You got all those. Now you did well. What'd you get? 7 out of 10 before you needed help?
Yeah, but we didn't get, Chiefs and Eagles.
Dolphins, Redskins, I was not expecting you guys to get.
See, here's what we should have done. So you remember how, Colin, you told us yesterday basically to just work backwards?
Sure.
We should have done that by year. We should have just gone.
Start at 67 and go on?
Well, we'd have gotten half this list if we'd have done that.
It's hard. I can't.
That would have been harder, in my opinion. That would have been harder.
Listen,
because there were so many recently you would have not had your 10 until you get to the last 10 years.
Kate, I got to be honest with you. Anything before 99, I probably struggle with. Unless
that's fine, but half this. How many of these games, at least the repeat version, have been in the last 10 years?
Yeah, I would have said you go back the last 10 years, you could have knocked a few out.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought you were talking about start at 67. I was like, that is a bad idea. Do not do that.
No.
To be fair, outside of Chiefs and Eagles, we kind of did that at the start. We did Patriots and Seattle.
You skipped over the Eagles and the Chiefs. That was the one.
Chiefs and that's what I said. Outside of that.
Oh, yeah, right.
We did, we had Philadelphia and the Patriots. We had the Patriots in Seattle. I thought we had New England and the Giants. I thought we really hit on all the rematches that we saw. The thing I get on us for is Chiefs and Eagles. That's the one that was unacceptable.
888-760-3776. You should have gotten Pats Rams too. First Patriot win. I was against the St. Louis Rams.
No, because that Goff team was so unforgettable. That Super Bowl stunk. Goff didn't make a single throw in that Super Bowl.
Fair enough. But that was
forgettable. Very forgettable.
It was a recent one. It's 2019. It was the last one Brady ever won with New England.
Yeah.
We'll take a time out here. 888-760-3776. We'll do a little 5 at 5. But first things first, if you're exercising and you got to make sure you want for the summer season, it's time to start if you want that summer body. And that's where you go to F45. Talk about training, not workouts. Talk about training. If you want to feel stronger, faster, more conditioned, F45 West Palm Beach is the place for you. F45 stands for Functional 45. It's a 45-minute high-intensity team training session that is designed to build strength, burn fat, improve performance. It's a different workout every single day. You're not walking into a gym. You're walking into a community. It's a team environment with experienced coaches that are pushing you, correcting form, and a bunch of like-minded fitness individuals in one spot, listening to music, having a great time. If you want to stay game ready, create strength, endurance, whatever it might be, F45 West Palm Beach delivers. Get 3 classes for just $30 right now. Go to F45.com/West Palm Beach. F45 West Palm Beach, team training, life-changing. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Kate Chumsman. We'll do a little 5 at 5 on the other side of things. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Are you a business owner or handle your company's marketing? Banyan Printing and Signs partners with over 1,000 local businesses in Palm Beach County. Their full-service solution saves you time and money by eliminating multiple vendors. From business cards and brochures to direct mail services and signage, they do it all. Fast turnaround, free local delivery, and superior customer service are what sets Banyan apart. Could a market leader with 48 years improve your current model? Visit banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Being a sports fan is tough. Bad calls, crushed dreams, Jets fans. Hi, this is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and don't worry, we're here for you. ESPN 106.3 is your official sports therapy hotline. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long-distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
From 30 for 30 Podcasts.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine action.
Senior defensive lineman from Miami, gunned down.
The key to this case, it's Brian.
An hour before he died, he was on the phone arguing with somebody.
This might be a hit.
You want the truth. They just want a conviction.
Being placed under arrest. We had a killer amongst us.
Murder at the U, coming soon.
Hosting the big game at home? Bring Duffy's to your party with our tailgate takeout party packs. Build your own spread with award-winning jumbo wings, barbecue baby back ribs, classic cheeseburger sliders, sideline baskets, and more. No cooking, no stress. Just great food and great football. Plus, now through February 7th, pre-order tailgate takeout party packs and get double points on your Duffy's MVP card. Bring the big game feel and big game spread to you. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Football's biggest game is here, so make sure the only heat is on the field. Keep your home in the wind column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can get 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong in the postseason, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today and schedule your service now. Stay cool for the biggest game of the year.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com, pbhnphysiciangroup.com, to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Colin to the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
If you bet any money on Mike and Cade forgetting that the Eagles and the Chiefs played in 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls, you would have made a big buck. And when you do with that buck, you put it in Flagler Credit Union.
Absolutely, folks. Flagler is that local name that we all know and love. And they offer personal and business banking options that will help you manage your finances and simplify every single banking need that you have. Flagler Credit Union. Flagler Credit Union, folks, a division of Dort Financial. Since they're a non-for-profit cooperative, when you need to take out money, they're like, God forbid, you need to take out some money, you need to take out a loan, all right? Since they're a non-for-profit cooperative, they will charge less if you need to borrow money to purchase a la a new car. Say something happens to your car. You got to get a new car. You got to take out some money to get a car. Flagler could give you some great options on taking some money out. If you need to get a new home, you all got kids in college, kids in high school. If you need some fast cash, think of our friends over at Flagler because they will be able to charge less when you need to borrow some money. They got 4 convenient locations across Palm Beach County: Boca Raton, Lake Clark Shores, North Palm Beach, and West Palm Beach. I go to the West Palm Beach location because I live right here in Palm Beach Lakes. You can open up an account today by visiting flaglercu.org for more information, or stop by one of those 4 locations. Once again, Flagler, that local name, Flagler Credit Union. Think about them when you need a checking account, a personal checking account, or a business checking account, or are looking to take out some cash.
Let's make it quick because we got Hall of Famer Will Shields joining us next. Let's do a little 5% by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking Big Ten.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Number 1.
Well, wait, Colin, did the Heat got Giannis, right? The Heat got Giannis. No.
I heard the Bucks wanted Terry Rozier and Hero.
Why? It's 5:15. Certainly, Giannis is a part of the Heat. No. Giannis is staying with the Bucks. It was reported at 12:30 today by Shams Charania that the Bucks are going to hang on to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Apparently, the deals, Colin, they didn't like the deals. They didn't
We're
like
out
what
on
they're...
Shams. We're out on Shams.
I'm down, Colin, I'm not going to lie. A little down on Shams.
Shams, please, can you stop?
A little down on Shams.
He said it about the offseason. Can we stop acting like the biggest things in the world are going to happen? Let it come to you like the Luka trade.
Right. Well, I'm a little down on Shams.
Yeah,
but
down on him.
I'll tell you what, Heat fans are also down in the dumps too, Colin. Like I said, filled in for Theo Dorsey today. He mentioned they were in trade rumors with Damian Lillard. Before he went to Milwaukee. That never happened. They were getting Kevin Durant 3 different times. That never happened. They were getting Giannis 2 different times. Never happened. Where are you at with the Miami Heat and the way that they're doing business? Because Heat fans, they think Pat Riley's asleep at the wheel here.
I don't pin it on the Heat. I pin it on the Bucks because the Bucks either trade him or don't. And I understand you could probably get more in the offseason, but let's stop making a big charade of this. I don't think the Heat have enough assets. If anything, they need to acquire more assets and then figure out a way to finagle it in the offseason. You're not going to do it in mid-year. The Bucks wanted a heavy price, and it's a heavy price because he's a top 30 player ever in his prime. So I'm not pinning it totally on the Heat.
Number 2.
Well, you know me, Colin. I love my baseball. I'm going to the Diamond because the Tigers, they've been in the headlines in MLB news. They first off, they signed Framber Valdez, the free agent pitcher who did a lot of damage with Houston. A 3-year, $115 million contract. Well, wait a minute, Colin. Well, where are they getting this money from? Because why aren't they giving it to Tarek Skubal? And speaking of Skubal, he won his arbitration case, which for those of you that don't really know what arbitration is, it's what a baseball player makes per year based off of their value. Like Skubal, obviously, he's looking for a new deal. And the Tigers aren't playing ball with him getting a new deal, so you have an arbitration case for what he should be making this year and how much he is worth. And he won his arbitration case, and he will make $32 million this year. Colin, with the acquisition of Framber Valdez and Tarek Skubal, at least in Detroit for another year, that's 2 very strong lefty pitchers with the Tigers. Are they a sleeper team? And granted, sleeper team, they went to they went to, I believe, the divisional round last year in the MLB.
Lost in Game 5 to the Mariners.
Are the Tigers a serious threat next year with this new pitching lineup?
I wonder what they're going to do with Skubal. Do you let him walk at the end of the year and get nothing for him? Because you got two great pitchers there. You can capitalize on this. If you get hot at the right time, you got two pitchers that are good enough to ride you through a postseason run. But then you're not going to get anything for Skubal.
And a weak division, too, Colin.
It's a division that's always been dominated by pitching staffs. I'm under the impression that that relationship with Skubal's done. They're just going to ride out the year and see what happens. But I'd be surprised if they dealt him at mid-year, because if you're going after Valdez, it's either his replacement and then you get prospects in return. Bizarre none the least.
Number 3.
Well, Colin, let's go to the gridiron because we're a couple of days away from the Super Bowl. I'm not necessarily bought in, neither here nor there. You're fully bought in to Sam Darnold. Colin, what would Sam Darnold winning a Super Bowl do for the league?
I think it would get people off the horse that you need to make these quarterbacks work quickly. I think the fact is that it's all about...
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
You and a bunch of other people who want to get rid of these guys after 5 seconds. I think it's important to understand that it's about building a team around a certain player, putting him in the right positions with the right coaching staffs. Darnold's the epitome of that. And maybe I don't think he's a specific only case study. I think it's important to showcase that, if Darnold can do it, a lot of other people can do it too. And after the struggles he had throughout his career.
Number 4.
Theo spilled the beans. Theoretically speaking, is going to next year's Super Bowl. Will Russo and Rizzo also get the invite?
Is that true?
He said it on air.
Is he?
Is
ESPN West Palm doing
in
it?
So
or is
many
he setting
in
himself?
so many words, Theo said ESPN has the Super Bowl next year. Is that true?
It's in LA, correct?
Yeah. Okay. ESPN has a Super Bowl. Okay.
Okay. And he said that theoretically speaking is going to be there next year. Does Russo and Rizzo get the invite?
Did he say that we were sending him out, like as in on us?
Does Russo and Colin?
Well, that changes my answer. If the answer
let's say
is
it's on the
that
company
we are
dime.
sending him out, then you and I will be there.
Let's say it's
you
on the
and I will be there.
Let's say it's on the. Let's say it's on the company
we'll be
dime.
there. I'll see you there.
Okay, good.
But if it's on his dime, it's a different conversation.
We got to be on the same page here. All right.
I agree.
That
was my first question.
Okay. And then
Number 5.
we're speaking to Will Shields here coming up, Hall of Famer. Colin, our last one. This is our 5 at 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union. 5 biggest kind of sports topic stories at 5 o'clock. Colin, if you had a chance to speak to a Hall of Famer, an NFL Hall of Famer, which one would it be? Any NFL, you could have your pick of the litter. Which NFL Hall of Famer would you speak to? Let me go first. I think Jerry Rice. I think for me, Jerry Rice. That is an era of football that I wish I would have saw with him and Joe Montana. He's considered the best ever at the position. I think I'd go with Jerry Rice.
If I ran into him at a bar, Marshawn Lynch. If I was having him on for an interview, I'd do one of the Manning brothers. I would do Peyton, I think.
I think Eli would be fun.
Yeah, Eli would be funnier. You'd learn more from Peyton.
I think Eli would be.
You'd learn more about Peyton.
If
I was running into a bar, Marshawn Lynch. Not even a question.
Eli beat the greatest team of all time. He will forever have my respect.
Right.
He will forever have my respect.
Hall of Famer, you said. No Bill Belichick.
I like Bill a lot, though.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
Well, he will be a Hall of Famer. Bunch of angry old men, All right.
There is your 5 at 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union. We'll take a timeout. On the other side of things, the Hall of Famer played 14 years in the NFL for the Kansas City Chiefs. One of the best interior offensive linemen to ever live. Will Shields will join us next on Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most. Getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar and Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and I'm dropping the gloves. Your new home for the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers is ESPN 106.3. Tonight, the Panthers and Lightning meet again in a rivalry that never cools off. This one matters. Coverage starts at 7 right here on ESPN 106.3.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet, home of Inter Miami, Miami Heat, and the Miami Dolphins. Catch all the action and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 106.3. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. The wager terms and conditions apply. Consider by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMIT.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
You've seen the PGA Tour's best on the course, but in the arena, it's prime time. Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back. With big moments, big personalities, nonstop action on the big screen. Shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, and overtime. Tickets are on sale now, but availability is limited. Visit TGLGolf.com to get your tickets while they last. TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast, professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
The 5 p.m. hour is presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, the world's only total relocation company. Local or long distance, they've got you covered.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Colin Russo with ESPN 106.3. We got Christian Cat behind the glass. Like to welcome in favor of the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational coming up here in just a couple of weeks down at Broken Sound in South Florida. Like to welcome in somebody who has had a esteemed NFL career, never missed a game for the Kansas City Chiefs, played his entire career there, played football, high school in Oklahoma, right near where Christian was, and also Nebraska Cornhusker himself. I'd like to welcome in Mr. Will Shields, the NFL Hall of Famer, joining us now. Will, how are we doing today? What's going on?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. I'm actually down here in San Francisco getting ready for the big game, or if you can say the other word. But down here hanging out, getting some things done, working some legend stuff. So trying to have some fun, but also getting a little work in.
That is media training, but like I've never seen. How about the big game? But Will, I imagine this is a packed week for you every year because you go back to the Super Bowl. I'm sure a bunch of the former guys you played with, whether teammates or opposition, you see all these guys once a year. Do you go to the Super Bowl every single year?
Yeah, because of what I do for work. I work for the NFL Legends community, so I actually help guys transition in and out of the league. So we sort of come and we do different things to reconnect guys so that they know that we're here to sort of help us move on to our next stage of life, either into the league or out of the league.
Well, you had an amazing career throughout Nebraska, the Chiefs. I want to get into a little bit of all of it, but you played high school football down in Oklahoma. Now, Christian Catt, our producer behind the glass today, did a lot of coverage in Oklahoma on the high school side of things. Christian, how far were you from Lawton, where Mr. Will Shields played?
Yeah, I was up in Enid, so about a 3-hour drive. I hated when the team that I covered hit the road to take on Lawton because it was such a long drive. Any Tulsa suburb, any Oklahoma City suburb, and they stunk, so we would get our butts kicked from Lawton. But what is the reputation for Oklahoma high school football in your eyes, Will? Because everyone knows the Texas, everyone knows the Florida, and the California. What's Oklahoma high school football all about?
We're sort of that hidden gem. People don't understand what we do and how we do it, but we get things done. What's really cool about it is, we do have quite a few guys that spread it out. It's not just football, it's basketball, it's baseball. We even have a couple of soccer players from certain areas, pretty big time. We've had guys that sort of made things sort of work. And that's what we about it. Keep it that hidden gem. We don't want people down there messing with our kids too much. Let them come down and play for those schools that are at least close. But it's also, we do take it pretty seriously when we do come to our football and basketball for sure.
And, Will, throughout your career, you played for the legendary Tom Osborne at the Nebraska as a Cornhusker, and you played during an unbelievable time of that 20-year period where Nebraska was as good as it gets. Being a guy who played football from Kansas, played football in Oklahoma, Nebraska came calling. Was it just sort of the phone call you had to pick up? How did you make that decision to end up going to play football at Nebraska?
Well, it was more or less we went to different football camps at that point, trying to figure out where we fit in and where we could try to, get to that next level. And I sort of like when we did a camp up there in Nebraska and coach came out and said, hey, next year you might have an opportunity to come up here and play, and trying to figure out what was best for me as an offensive lineman. I was playing both offense and defense, but he sort of came out with this deal of, man, I was already running their offense verbatim since my junior year. So I sort of came in as a sophomore going into the system, and they had a pretty good education program there that sort of helped support and build that in. And I knew I needed that going into that next level.
And when you got drafted to the Kansas City Chiefs, you never missed a game. It's sort of in my opinion, you played in the golden era of offensive line, of especially trench work, especially interior. So many greats, Randall McDaniel, Steve Hutchinson, Larry Allen, yourself, who played in this time period of the 90s through the 2000s, where it was really the golden era of playing offensive line, where guys did not miss games, and you were always available. You were a true Iron Man of the sport. Looking back on your career, looking back on how you did it, comparatively to nowadays, where in my opinion you get a lot more injuries these days, what do you think the differences are in which guys back then could survive the strenuous parts of the season versus today? You see a lot more injuries. How did you do it? Were you able to kind of survive that illustrious career of 14 years and not miss a game?
Well, I think our prep was a little different. Now they're they call them bigger, stronger, faster, but they also have more prone things to injuries. If you're that much faster, then yeah, you can pull a hamstring, because back in our day, we say big kids don't have hamstrings. So they don't move fast enough to be able to pull it. So there's all those little things of being a little shorter, bulkier, those kind of things that sort of helped us sort of trudge our way through it. Where now, guys are, I just walked up to a center the other day that's like 6'4", 6'5". And I'm standing at 6'2.5". And so they're sort of a little gargantuan compared to us. And so that leaves that little play area in between to where the way they train is a little different. They're not, they don't have the big shoulders and all this stuff. They're bigger, they're more agile and do those things. But that also leaves little things we call it tenderization of the muscles of us being able to have longer training camps to build our body up to go the distance through that. And now it's more elongation, speed work, and things of that nature. And so that area is in there that I think that you can actually get injured.
And so that's the difference between like players back then when you were in your prime, building that Hall of Fame career, versus now. What about how the game has evolved and changed, and specifically officiated? Have you noticed a difference from your playing days versus watching the games on Sundays this time around, between little nuanced differences on the actual rules enforced and the ones that are in the rule book?
There's a lot of changes, and the changes are supposed to make the game better, faster, moving different things. So as being an older player, you sort of go, man, I could have never got away with that. Those are those things you start talking about. Those are things that didn't happen. But then on the other hand, there are some things that they moved out of the game that the guys today can't do, so that makes a difference of you got to find the better way to sort of move forward. And so you sort of look at it, and some days you'd be like, man, is that a penalty or is that not? So you're questioning yourself, even though you're a person that lived the game, just because some of the rules have changed a little bit. And some of the nuances, even looking at it, the difference between college and pro sometimes sort of throws you off a little bit. So I can only imagine if it was somebody that didn't play the game compared to somebody that's playing it and still having to ask those questions.
I think there's levels on both sides of that front of what you're talking about, both sides of that coin, where the offensive line, more so now than ever, hands to the face and holding calls and whatever it might be, how you block in the run game, how if you go low, an eligible man downfield. It is so policed these days where you can't get away with anything. Get away with is a good term for that. And on the defensive side of things, if you're an edge rusher, you can't get to the quarterback, you can't lay on him, or else it's a roughing the passer. Do you think in a way it's a little over-officiated to cater to maybe offensive scoring, or do you think that they've found a good medium for how they officiate it in the trenches versus what you've seen in your career?
And I think what they do is every year they sort of tweak it here and there. And so one year it'll be more offensive sides, the other side will be more defensive sides. So they're just trying to find that balance to make sure that you keep people in the seats, keep people watching the game, keep it entertaining, keep people going through. And I think that's the most important piece. Most people don't realize that, we are part of an entertainment group also. We got to keep people watching it and doing different things, but also you got to be as safe as you can be, getting that opportunity to do those things. So I think each year they try to tweak it one way or another, and sometimes they tweak it at the same time. So there's no way you could have did that a couple of years ago and they didn't, or they did call that. And so I think it's part of that process. As far as the game grows, that's how you have to sort of go with it, of trying to figure out what's the best for the game and how can you be as safe and sound as you can.
And for your counterparts, who you're going matched up with oftentimes one-on-one, guys like Warren Sapp, Derek Thomas, whether it be on the practice field or in real game situations, how were those guys different from what we see on the field in 2025 and 2026, like the Micah Parsons of the world and the Myles Garretts? Is there a stylistic change because of how the game has changed, or is it kind of same beast, just a different year?
I think basically some of these guys are mirror image to different guys from different eras. So if you think about the Derek Thomas of the world, that is a Michael Parsons kind of guy. And he's just built that way. He's a little smaller, but his shiftiness is so smooth to where he can make you move one way and get around you. And he uses, and then he show a little power here and there and he changes it up. And so they have some of those same mentalities. I think the hard part is trying to compare a Reggie White kind of guy compared to anyone right now in the league internally. There, you can't find that guy that's that strong, that dominant, that uses those tools in that way. A lot of guys are more quickness. They actually dance around and be able to move around guys, sort of make you miss kind of things, compared to people that every rare you do see a guy that can basically run somebody over on a regular play.
Offensive lineman, Hall of Famer for the NFL, Will Shields joins us now, played his entire career with the Kansas City Chiefs, 14-year career, former Nebraska Cornhusker on top of that. So you get drafted in about around 93, 94, and the first person that you are protecting at the offensive line in the interior is Joe Montana. And the first person that you're blocking for in the rushing attack is Marcus Allen. And those are two right then and there, immediate, sort of on the tail end of their careers, but Hall of Fame, illustrious careers, both former MVPs in the National Football League. Was there sort of a get ready for the NFL because it's right here in your face moment? Were you ready for that challenge? Did they sort of incorporate the offensive line into the lineups properly back then? Tell me about that experience, that first couple years when you were protecting Montana and you were blocking for Marcus Allen.
Well, the cool thing about it is that Marcus sort of took us under his wing. You know, he was that guy that would actually come in the O-line room and sit with us and watch film. He would be studying. He'd be like, okay, Will, what can you do to this guy? What can we do to that guy? He was a guy that prepped himself so that he could help us look better, be better as we started to go through it. When Montana was here, it was sort of that thing of, hey, Joe, you've got to slow it down. These guys haven't caught up to you yet. So he was calling plays and changing things. And they had to stop practice quite a few different times because he was so far ahead with what he saw. And it was almost like, when they start talking about Mahomes when he got here, you'd go into the building and they'd be like, man, this kid did something this week that you've never seen before. That was Joe Montana. That would be like, the left-handed passes that he would do. He did that, trying to stay ahead of them, catch up to them to where you can help them be even better.
Will Shields with us now on ESPN 106.3. One thing about offensive line, too, at least from an outside perspective looking in, is I do think that the offensive line, you're supposed to have not like a rage, but you're supposed to play angry. And that's part of the reason why it's such a physical position. You're going against the defensive line every single possession. It's almost like guy with the most adrenaline wins, or the guy who's most stable. There's two sides to that coin. In your career, playing for 14 years, how did you adjust to playing every single year, getting ready for every single game? What did you rely on? Did you rely on technique, consistency in terms of effort? Did you rely on a little bit, get angry before every single game? What worked for Will Shields?
Well, I'll tell you vice versa. Actually, before every game, I would actually take a nap. I would actually go out, warm up, and I tell the guy, hey, wake me up 2 minutes before we go out. And I'd actually play slow jams in my head, take a nap, relax, sort of the calm before the storm. Once I'm on the field, it's all about business. It's all about getting it done. It's all about doing your thing. And I believed you had to be in the best shape of your life every time you went out to play. I'm not the biggest, the strongest, or the fastest, but I will work you out for 70-plus plays every game. And that's the whole point of being in the best shape you can be, because I'm not going to be the guy that's going to beat you up every snap, but I am the one that's going to try to win every snap. And I think that's that mentality. So there was a game that my wife actually came to watch, and they came on the field because they were doing a presentation. And I didn't even want to talk to her at that point. I'm just staring off into space, because once I hit the field, it's all about the game. And to me, that's that click. I'm the nicest guy off the field, but when it comes on the field, you could be my best friend, but when we come to line up against each other, I'm going to try to give it to you. We're going to work. We're going to make it happen. And I think that's that mentality, that change, that quick point that every lineman has to have.
That's fascinating. To go from you warm up and then nap and then take the field. Like the body was okay with that? Like the brain and the muscles and the nervous system and all that was okay with going, ramping all the way up, powering all the way down, and just to ramp it back up again.
And the Marty Schottenheimers of the world didn't know to bother him. And, hold on, we need to change something in the game plan. No, we can't talk to Will right now. He's in his pregame nap. Stuff like that would come up with wake you up, and then all of a sudden we're all pissed off.
Hey, but, the thing of it is, if I was up before the game and if there's music going and if I was up and dancing and all this, I had a terrible game. I just knew I struggled because my mindset wasn't into the game. And so I call it the quickening, man. I get the quickening that happens in the J months. I still have them today where I start sleeping, and dreaming football about plays that I'm going to do and plays that's going to happen and things like that. And it just makes that feeling come back of, okay, these are the plays we're going to run. This are the things we're going to do. These are the things I'm trying to accomplish. And so you start zoning in, and basically everything else fades away because you're focused on what you want to do and how you want to do it.
From not starting week 1 of your rookie season, starting week 2, and never missing a start in the rest of your career, setting the record for the Kansas City Chiefs for most starts as a Chief, I got to ask the question, what is the worst injury you played through? Because you're not making it through 16-game seasons unbothered, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't know the worst one I had, but I've had quite a few. I mean, I've had weeks where I've had broken bones or muscles in your hand where you practice with it closed and then you only open it for games for the game day and then you close it back up. High ankle sprains where people go, oh, yeah, you're not going to play on that. And I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. And you sort of get up there and you hobble your way through it and you work your way around. I mean, you just sort of fight your way through it. In certain games, there was one game that was like, oh man, I'm not going to make it. It's not going to work. Shoot, my center Grinhart, he goes, look, 60% of you is better than the 80% the guy that's going to be standing next to me. So I don't care what you got to do. We're going to play. So that was a game that he pulled me along and I went out there hobbling around to make it happen. But, it's one of those things where you wanted to be there for your guys. You wanted to be a part of that team. I mean, I can actually say every opportunity I ever had to play the game of football, I took advantage of it. And that's the coolest thing ever.
And with what we've seen the Chiefs throughout your career, now that what we've seen the Chiefs, I would say in the last 10 or so years with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, looking at it from afar as a Chiefs legend yourself, they had an off year this past year. Injuries, things sort of went sporadic, especially with just consistency. But we're looking at one of the great dynasties the NFL has seen in recent memory right next to the Patriots. So from your perspective as a Chiefs legend, how do you view the Chiefs right now? They're in a little bit of a hiccup right now because it was the rare year that we didn't see them in the postseason. We didn't see them in the Super Bowl. You're not previewing them on Radio Row, the Chiefs, once again for the third straight year. So it's a different scenario that we have with the Kansas City Chiefs right now. What's your outlook on what you saw this year from them and what you're looking to see in the future from Mahomes, Reid, and company?
Well, I think part of that is there's been years that they have overcame some of those injuries and some of those pieces to get to the Super Bowl and limp their way in, where this year they just couldn't overcome it. They had 12 games that they lost by less than 7 points, even though they had a bad year. And that's pretty crazy to think about, where the years before they always won those games within those touches. And I think anytime you have that time, you still have to have that reset. You still have to have that build back up kind of mentality. And sort of like anyone else would think about it, we've been spoiled. I mean, we've had guys that, there's teams that we're like, oh, man, there's no way they should get to that next level. And they pull it off. And, that kid 15 makes things happen. And that's what's really cool. And he pulls people along. So I think it's rebuilding. It's repolishing of what they have already done. And just don't mess it up. Just don't, do too much to where you can't get those leaders back going. And that's what you need. I have long when those young guys can't figure out, okay, I'm a little tired.
Speaking right now with Hall of Fame offensive lineman from the Kansas City Chiefs, Will Shields, ahead of Super Bowl 60, ahead of the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational coming up in early March 6th through the 8th. What is the path forward in Chiefs land right now? Because as you mentioned, losing 12 games that were one-score games, you don't want to overcorrect something that might not be necessarily broken. It just didn't happen in 2025. What adjustments need to be made to that team, roster, scheme, whatever it is, for next year to try to get back to the place where they rightly believe they belong?
I think you just need a couple of little pieces here, another wide receiver, and then a couple of another tackle or two to help him out, to keep him from having to run as much. And then you reload. You sort of go from there and try to keep people healthy. You had the first 6 games where you didn't have one of your wide receivers. And then the first 4 games, the other wide receiver got hurt in the first game. So they had those things, those periods of time where they could be better and could have done things a little better, but they were never at full go. And then by the time you get one guy healthy, 3 more go down. So to me, it's that simple fact of trying to keep guys healthy as they can be. And I think that'll make a difference within itself.
Now, Will Shields joining us now. One thing I want to ask you about is you obviously got Nebraska in your blood. That's a team you follow. That's a athletic program you follow. But your son was actually a basketball player. And he's a basketball player at Nebraska and had a good career there. I remember him. And Siobhan Shields, who's now playing overseas right now in, I believe, Italy. And when you're watching that, have you made any note of Nebraska's basketball team being top 10 in the country? Have you noticed this at all, that Nebraska basketball potentially could win their first ever NCAA tournament game this March?
Most definitely. I mean, you got to think about this. I even follow the volleyball team, man. That's how deep we get. We follow volleyball. We follow all the sports as they go through, and especially if they're doing really well. And also, to watch those guys and see what happens. I mean, that's lineage. That's part of that mantra of what you did when you actually signed up to be a Husker. So we follow all those different things, and it's amazing what he's done there and how he's got that program humming a little bit. I know the last couple of weeks have been a couple of hiccups here and there, but, sometimes you start to smell the roses a little bit, and that makes a little difference. But I'd rather for you to lose now than to lose later.
Wow, on top of it. I love that. And you're right. Yeah, 2 hiccups, but they played 2 good teams, so I can't knock you for that.
They did.
And I'm a Wisconsin guy, so I got nothing to cheer for on my front. But, Will, one thing I wanted to ask you about as well is when you're going through Nebraska football, we went to basketball, we went to volleyball. Now football is in an interesting spot themselves because they had Dylan Raiola. Dylan Raiola just leaves at quarterback. They have, Matt Rule sitting there. There was questions about whether he'd hang around. What do you think the state of the program is with Nebraska? Because I think similar to Miami was, and now Miami's gotten to that point, Miami's back. I think Nebraska's a team that people are waiting to officially announce that Nebraska's back. What do you think needs to happen from your perspective for Nebraska football?
Well, I think some of that comes back for building out what they've done in the past. I mean, you got to eggs and work your way around and be able to do. I mean, we always say you've got to run the ball in November, December a little bit to off the quarterback and those. But that's what we've always done in the past is we're able to put up points and had a defense that was very, very sound. So those are things that they're going to have to work their way through. And I think NIL makes it a little harder. But as you can say, I saw a team in Indiana that's put some things together and shown people how to do it. So hopefully they'll take a little notes from them and figure out that you might not need all 5-star guys to make it happen. You just need guys that love the game of football.
And Will Shields, with Nebraska, that rebuild, bunch of greats. That alumni base is ridiculous, both on the field and off the field. It's massive. It's huge. And you're going to be surrounded by a bunch of greats when you come back down to Boca Raton to take on the old course at Broken Sound at the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational in early March. Are you looking forward to this year's tournament? How's the golf game doing? It's a tough course, man.
It's a tough course, but I'm working on the game, man. That's what I do, man. And now it's to the point to where you move from the things you can do to the things you can't. I'm not a great golfer, but guess what? Mentally, I'm working on it. I work on it all the time, and go and hit balls and everything else. But I think what's really cool about it is you get the opportunity to go out, play around, and then you get a chance to get around the pro guys and talk to them about what they're What's really cool, talking a little trash, it always works that way. Makes you play a little harder, play a little better too, or it could make you play a little worse.
Yeah, see, I was going to ask that. Like the trash talk that you have when you're at the line of scrimmage looking across to the defense on the other side, is it similar to when you got a match going on with a guy standing over an 8-foot putt, or what are the tactics? Different or the same?
It's similar. It just depends on who you are. So I've never been the trash talk guy. I just sort of listen, and then the proof is in the pudding. It's sort of like you got to put up the numbers to get it there. But there are some guys that you're pretty close to each other, so they can rib each other and give each other a hard time. But we try not to be that guy that does it in the backswing, those kind of things. But yeah, after it's sent off, they will go. Yeah, that thing is gone.
Yeah. Well, who are you looking forward to talking trash to the most, or who are you expecting to be the most vocal out there on the course of the guys who you expect to play in this tournament for the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Who's really
the vocal guy? Well, really, it's always the guys that are really good that sort of get you. You have the Marshall Faulks of the world that can really play the game. Yeah, you might as well not say because I'm just going to show you what I can do, kind of thing. Tim Brown, my classmate, he is golf, man. So we talk all the time, and I've been like, hey, man, I need to get with that guru that you got teaching you the game so I can learn a little bit from you.
Well, Will, and Super Bowl 60 is coming up. I know you're in San Francisco right now, probably doing a ton of work, bouncing around with all the NFL pro stuff with this in anticipation of this game with Seahawks and Patriots. What are you looking forward to in this game? Do you have a team that you think's going to win here? What's your prediction looking ahead to Super Bowl 60?
Well, for me, I mean, always go with the bigs. The bigs inside is going to dictate what happens. And I know on certain sides, and I'll never say which side is which, but they got to protect some of these tackles in here that's going to need a little extra help just because they can't leave them on an island by themselves because they're not ready for that yet, But it's great to see them in the Super Bowl and them have an opportunity, especially having those quarterbacks. The young quarterback on one side is going to need a little extra help, a little extra time so that he can get it out. And then you have the older guy on the other side that's showing that he's still a wily vet. And the way I see it is, hey, the one with the least mistakes usually has the better game and helps you out. And that's usually with the big guys. That's like, if you can get the run game rolling so that you don't have to pass as much and you can do it when you want to do it, that dictates the game itself. And that always makes it happen.
Well, we appreciate the time. We appreciate giving us a couple minutes ahead of Super Bowl Sunday and ahead of the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. Appreciate you giving us a little bit of a rundown in your career. Looking forward to talking again soon. All right, Will?
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You guys have a great one.
You take care. That's Will Shields, the Hall of Famer offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman for Nebraska and for the Kansas City Chiefs. Played his entire 14-year career there. The longest streak of consecutive starts behind Brett Favre is Mr. Will Shields. Christian Cat, Colin Russo. We will take a time out here on ESPN.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
This is the Delray Beach Open, the ultimate tennis party. Don't miss today's top professional tennis stars and legends in downtown Delray Beach. February 13th through the 22nd. It's 10 days of 140 miles per hour aces, parties, and all the good vibes. Come for the nonstop action on and off the court. Snap pics and post memories at the DBO. Join us for a jam-packed week of ATP tennis matches where champions play and fans party. DelrayBeachOpen.com for info. Tickets on sale now.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Baseball fans, spring training 2026 is here. Cacti Park at the Palm Beaches is the place to be all season long. Right here in West Palm Beach, the Astros and the Nationals are hosting some of baseball's biggest names. The Cardinals, Mets, Yankees, Marlins, Orioles, Phillies, Pirates, even Team Venezuela is coming into town for the World Baseball Classic. Nothing beats a day at Cacti that's sunshine, the crack of the bat, cold drinks, and amazing ballpark eats. It's the best seat in baseball. Spring training now through March 22nd. Tickets are selling fast. It's bringing back fan-favorite promotions, youth sports Sundays, happy hour games, fireworks, college nights. They have it all. Bring the family. Go get a 4-for-4 pack. That is 4 tickets, 4 dogs, 4 drinks, and 4 chips. Visit cactipark.com to lock in your seats today. Spring training baseball is here in West Palm Beach. Do not miss a moment. Cacti Park. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Cade Shumson. Got a Super Bowl Friday coming up tomorrow. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, big time.
Should be good. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time as always, 4 to 6 p.m. See you next time. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.